Hey fellow pipe smokers, Smokin' Briar coming at ya. Today I'm going to do a video, kind of a lengthy video probably. I've been getting some messages over a period of time, people asking me about Virginia pipe tobaccos, especially flakes, and how they can smoke them without burning their mouth. A lot of people say, geez, I don't understand what's the great thing about flake tobacco. Every time I try to smoke it, I burn my face off, you know, and it's a tongue bite and it's terrible. I'm having such a tough time, and I don't see what all the rave is about flakes, you know. And man, I'll tell you what, I was there at one time and I know what you're going through. This video probably isn't going to be for you guys that, you know, been smoking a pipe for years and you know all this stuff, but this is more towards the newer fellas that are starting to smoke a pipe, and you know, people that are just getting started in the flake tobacco or straight Virginia tobaccos, because there really is a learning curve, you know, when it comes to smoking those kind of tobaccos, and if you don't do it properly, it can be awful miserable. So hopefully I can share a little bit of my experience with you, and maybe you'll gain some knowledge, maybe not, I don't know, but I'm going to give it a try anyways. Smoking a Savinelli Porto Servo pipe, which I picked up on International Pipe Smoking Day this year, for a very sweet 15% off. I hope you guys were able to cash in on some of those deals on pipes and tobaccos, different things. There were some outstanding sales. But I've got this pipe full. I've just started to smoke it. I've got it full of some of this here Peter Stokkebye's Luxury Twist Flake. And this was a flake that was recommended to me by Mutton Chop Piper. He had done a video, kind of a review, and you know, about this blend. And I sent him a message and I said, you know, hey, what do you really think about this? You know, is it a good flake or? And he replied back to me and told me what gave me a pretty in-depth his thoughts on what it was. So I ordered just a few ounces to try, and it's outstanding, it really is. So I will definitely be ordering probably a half a pound of this to put away in the cellar, because it can only get better. One thing about Virginias, guys, the longer you'll sit on them, the better they get. But anyways, now back to the topic. Virginia pipe tobaccos, they always burn hot because there's a lot of sugar in there, you know. And when you take a Virginia pipe tobacco and you add a topping or a casing to it, such as with aromatics, on top of the high sugar content that's already in the tobacco naturally, you're going to have a tendency to really burn your mouth bad if you mistreat it. And you really need to understand the basics of Virginia tobacco, which is something I always say to all pipe smokers, you know. And if you, no matter how long you've been smoking a pipe, do yourself a favor and sample each kind of tobacco individually. You know, smoke some bright Virginia, some red Virginia, some Burleys, by themselves, not in a blend, by themselves, you know. Straight Burley, straight Virginia, straight Latakia, you know, straight Orientals. I even bought an ounce one time of straight Perique and smoked it just by itself, just so I could see what it is, what it tastes like, how it burns, the characteristics of it. And then when you read about different kinds of blends, you'll say, okay, I know how these tobaccos react individually. Here's how they're going to react as a blend, and you'll be able to understand your blends, and you'll be able to be more informed when buying blends about you know, when you read what's in them, you'll be able to have a better idea of what it's probably going to burn like and what it's going to taste like based on your experience from trying each one individually. And as with Virginias, you know, they burn hot. So you have to smoke them slowly. That's the key to smoking Virginias. And a lot of guys, and I see this happen all the time, they say, okay, I gotta smoke it slowly, and they understand that concept. But when they first pack a bowl full, and we're gonna talk about that too in a minute, but when they first pack a bowl and they get their Virginia, especially flakes or whatever, they get it in there, and you know, and first thing they do is they pop that lighter, and man, they just start burning and burning and burning. You know, the initial char light, clouds are flying, you know, the fire department's on the way, it's a whole big bonfire kind of thing going on, and they think, okay, that's the char light, and then they'll tap it, you know, tamp it down, and then they'll light it again, and too late, you ruin the bowl, you know. Once you scorch tobacco, once you burn the daylights out of that first top layer, it's that smoke, that scorch goes right down through the bowl, and it pretty much contaminates everything that's in it. It's just like you guys that smoke cigars. If you take a torch lighter and you just torch the living daylights out of the end of your cigar until it's just, you know, crispy fried, and you're puffing that smoke through that cigar, that bitter, you know, char, it's going to contaminate the flavors in that whole cigar with that flavor, and you're not going to be able to enjoy it. And that's the same way with a pipe. You want to take your lighter with a Virginia, just hold the pipe, that's it. That's all you want to do. See? One little flick, there's smoke coming out. You know, this wasn't lit. I've been talking for a good 5 or 6 minutes. It was out. Just one little flick got the bowl going. And here's another important thing, okay? This bowl is lit. It's going. You can see it. Okay? It's got a lot of tobacco, almost to the full top. You want to be able to take your fingers, hold them right there. Just hold them there. If it's burning your fingers, you lit it too much, okay? You don't want to see any black on your fingers. Just hold right onto it. That's all you want to do. If you're burning that pipe too hot that you can't put your fingers on there, you're smoking it too hot and you're lighting it too much. And that's one of the biggest things with Virginias, right there. Use this guy sparingly with Virginias, and you'll find that your experience is a whole lot better, okay? I'm going to talk to you guys a minute about the tobacco itself. Set this pipe down. Flake tobaccos. Now this is a flake tobacco. Flake tobaccos come in different types of, you'll see them in big long strips. You know, you'll see them in coins. I still, even though they look like a coin, I still call them a flake. Set this down for a minute. This is what it looks like, okay? It looks like a, you know, kind of like a piece of toast. This particular flake does. Like I said, you'll see other flakes that look like a stick of chewing gum, long and narrow. Some of them are round, coin shaped. They look like the size of a quarter. You'll hear a lot of guys use a method called the fold and stuff method, where they'll take a flake like this, fold it in pieces, and shove it down in their bowl. I don't like that method. I think it leaves too many air pockets in the pipe, you know, in the bowl. And when you have a lot of air and you have a tobacco that burns hot normally, naturally, that's a good combination for a bonfire in your bowl. Think of it as a campfire. You know, when you're out and you have loosely packed twigs with a lot of airflow coming through there, it just, you know, up it goes, and it burns real fast. Same way with Virginia tobaccos, the flake tobaccos. If you have too many air pockets, it's going to burn hot, and it's going to, if it burns hot, it's miserable. You know, And then you hear people say, well, we like to rub it out. Okay, that's what I do. Take that piece of tobacco in the palm of your hand and just rub it just gently, a couple of times. You know, I look for pieces of tobacco, you know, bigger chunks like this. If you rub this thing out too hard, okay, and turn it into a powder or little tiny pieces, you know, I like to leave these nice chunks like that. If you rub it out until it looks like a pile of dust in your hand, or little teeny, I don't know if you can see that, but if you rub it out like that, it's going to burn way too fast. It's going to burn way too fast. You want to leave it, and again, I use the comparison to a campfire. The bigger the log, the slower it burns, okay? That's what you want to do with flake tobacco. You want to leave the pieces as big as you can leave them without having a ton of air pockets in the bowl. Because the bigger the pieces are, the slower the burn. And that's what we're looking for when it comes to Virginias, is a nice slow burn. And you know, a lot of guys think they have to light the pipe and then they say, oh, that's it. I don't have to light it no more. It's going to burn to the bottom of the bowl and a nice white ash. Not going to happen. You know, a lot of guys get all bent out of shape on, oh, I gotta keep relighting my pipe. Why do I have to keep relighting my pipe? It's part of the game, guys. It's part of the pipe smoking. It's part of the ritual, you know. And another thing too is you have to let your tobacco dry properly. If your tobacco is so, you know, wet and sticky, you know, it's not going to burn. It's not going to burn. But on the other hand, if it's dry as dust, it's not going to burn either. You know, you need to practice and learn that halfway medium where your tobacco has just the right amount of moisture, where it's not crumbly and dry like dust, but it's not soaking wet like, you know, a washcloth. You just want it to be just a certain, so that it stays burning reasonably well. It just takes experience and practice with that, you know. But take your time with Virginias, guys. Pack your bowl, use bigger pieces, and just, you know, like that. That's all you gotta do. Sip it like a fine wine or a glass of whiskey. Take a few puffs, enjoy the flavor, and let it rest. That's it. Virginia tobaccos are not meant for people that want to smoke fast. They're not meant to hold in your mouth, clenching it and puffing and puffing and puffing. They're just not meant for that. They're a tobacco made to sit back in your chair, put your feet up, and relax. And you're going to have to light it who knows how many times. But like I said, that's part of the game with Virginias. And try those things, try those tips, and see if it doesn't help you to enjoy your Virginias a whole lot more than burning your tongue off and getting frustrated with it. So, okay, I hope that helped somebody. I appreciate you watching, and we'll smoke a bowl again soon. Take care of yourselves. See ya.